Imagine a time when the Soviet Union envisioned a future where helicopters as large as airliners would dominate the skies, transporting passengers across vast distances. The Mi-6P was the embodiment of this dream, a colossal rotary-wing aircraft designed to carry up to 80 passengers. But why did this ambitious project never become a reality? Let's uncover the story of the Soviet Union's monstrous Mi-6 helicopter airliner. The Soviet-era Mi-6, known as the Hook, was a gigantic helicopter, holding the title of the largest production rotary-wing aircraft until its successor, the Mi-26, was introduced. Measuring longer than the C-130 Hercules transport aircraft, the Mi-6 was utilized for a variety of military and civilian aviation purposes within the USSR. However, a lesser-known variant developed in the mid-1960s aimed to revolutionize Soviet air travel. This aircraft, the Mi-6P, with P standing for Passagierski, meaning passenger, was envisioned as a groundbreaking passenger helicopter. Although it never reached mass production, the single demonstrator, registered as CCCP 58647, provides a fascinating glimpse into what could have been. Had this monstrous passenger-carrying Mi-6 variant been produced, it would have offered an unparalleled flying experience. Built from a standard Mi-6, CCCP 58647 was an enormous machine, measuring approximately 109 feet in length and standing over 32 feet tall. The helicopter featured large stub wings mounted on the upper mid-fuselage, designed to generate lift and reduce the load on the rotor during cruise, thereby enhancing performance and efficiency. These wings, although not unique to the Mi-6P, were particularly beneficial for commercial passenger operations. Inside, the helicopter was transformed to accommodate up to 80 passengers, arranged in a 5-abreast configuration with 3 seats on one side of the aisle and 2 on the other. The cabin was outfitted with carpeting, overhead storage, and individual reading lights, creating an airliner-like atmosphere. Large rectangular windows allowed passengers to enjoy the view, while an onboard toilet, heating, and soundproofing added to the comfort. Externally, the Mi-6P underwent significant modifications. The rear clamshell doors and cargo ramp of the military Mi-6 were replaced with an identically shaped fairing, incorporating built-in air stairs on the centerline. Additionally, an AI-8 auxiliary power unit was installed, marking a notable departure from the Mi-6's original design and tailoring it specifically for civilian use. The concept of a passenger version of the Mi-6 was championed by Aeroflot, the Soviet national airline, in 1965. Aeroflot had already shown interest in the Mi-6, particularly as a solution for supporting construction, oil, and gas operations in the Eastern USSR. The first demonstrator, CCCP 06174, made its international debut at the 25th Paris Air Show in May 1965 and later entered production. The completed Mi-6P demonstrator made its first public appearance at the 1967 Paris Air Show, held at Paris-Le Bourget Airport. Registered as CCCP 58647, it captivated audiences with its sheer size and ambitious design. Later that year, the helicopter was showcased at the Moscow Domodedovo Air Show, further fueling interest in its potential. Aeroflot's need for a large-capacity passenger helicopter in the mid-1960s stemmed from the growing number of commercial helicopter flights within the USSR. Since 1958, the airline had offered air taxi services between cities like Simferopol and Yalta on the Crimean Peninsula, using smaller Mi-4 helicopters. As these routes expanded, the demand for larger helicopters capable of carrying more passengers over greater distances grew. The Mi-6P seemed like the perfect solution to Aeroflot's needs. However, despite the initial excitement, the helicopter never entered mass production. The reasons for this remain unclear, but by May 12, 1970, CCCP 58647 was transferred to the Soviet Air Force, marking the end of its brief civilian career. Although the Mi-6P never fulfilled its promise, the concept of large passenger helicopters persisted in the Soviet Union. In the 1980s, the Soviets explored other designs, including a passenger version of the Mi-26, known as the Mi-26P, which could accommodate up to 63 passengers. Despite these efforts, like the Mi-6P, these projects never fully materialized. The Mi-6P was more than just a helicopter. It was a symbol of Soviet ambition and a vision of a future where rotary-wing aircraft would dominate the skies. While the projects ultimately fell short, it leaves us with a compelling what if. What if the Mi-6P had succeeded? The sky was the limit, quite literally. Would you have been ready to board this airborne giant?